Assalamu alaikum, my dear ladies and gentlemen. In today's lecture, I am going to discuss with you inflammation. So first of all, we are coming to discuss with you definition of inflammation. So inflammation is a local response reaction of living vascularized tissue to the endogenous and exogenous stimuli. The term is derived from the Latin inflammare, meaning to burn. Inflammation is fundamentally destined to localize and eliminate the causative agent and to limit tissue injury. Thus, inflammation is a physiologic protective response to injury. An observation made by Sir John Hunter in 1794 concluded inflammation is itself not to consider as a disease but as a salutary operation consequent either to some violence to some or to some diseases. Causes of inflammation are Causes of inflammation are apparently causes of a disease such as physical agent in mechanical injury, alteration in temperature and pressure radiation injuries, chemical agent including the ever increasing list of drugs and toxins, biologic agent include bacteria, viruses, fungi, parasites, immunologic disorders include hypersensitivity, reaction, autoimmunity, immunodeficiency states, etc. Genetic metabolic disorder example are good diabetes mellitus. So now we are coming to discuss with you nomenclature of inflammation. The nomenclature of inflammatory lesion are usually indicated by the suffix itis. Thus, inflammation of the appendix is called appendicitis, and that of meninges is meningitis, etc. However, like any rule, it has its own exception. Example are pneumonia, typhoid, fever, etc. So now we are coming to discuss with you classification of inflammation. So in classification of inflammation is classified crudely based on duration of the lesion and histologic appearance into acute and chronic inflammation. So now we are coming to discuss with you acute inflammation. What is acute inflammation? So acute inflammation is an immediate and early response to an injurious agent, and it is relatively of short duration lasting for minutes, several hours or few days. It is characterized by exudation of fluid and plasma protein and the immigration of predominantly neutrophilic leukocyte to the site of injury. Now we are coming to discuss with you the 5 cardinal signs of acute inflammation. So in this, redness, also called rubor, which is due to the dilation of small blood vessel within damaged tissue as it occurs in cellulitis, heat, also called Keller, which result from increased blood flow, hyperemia due to renal vascular dilation, swelling, which is also called tumor, which is due to the accumulation of fluid in the extravascular space, which is in turn is due to increased vascular permeability, pain, which is also called dolor, which partially result from the stretching and destruction of tissues due to inflammatory edema and infarct from fuss under pressure. In an abscess cavity, some chemical of acute inflammation including bradykinin, prostaglandin, and serotonin are also known to induce pain. So now we are coming to discuss with you loss of function. So the loss of function is the inflamed area is inhibited by pain, while severe swelling may also physically immobilize the tissue. Now we are coming to discuss with you even of acute inflammation. Acute inflammation is characterized into early vascular and a late cellular response. The vascular response has the following step: immediate, also called momentary vasoconstriction in second due to neurogenic or chemical stimuli, vasodilation of arteriole and venule resulting in increased blood flow. After the phase of increased blood flow, there is showing of blood flow and stasis due to increased vascular permeability. That is most remarkably seen in post capillary venule. The increased vascular permeability oozes protein-rich fluid into extravascular tissue. Due to this, the already dilated blood vessels are now packed with red blood cells, resulting in stasis. The protein-rich fluid, which is now found in the extravascular space, is called exudate. What is called exudate? Extravascular space in which protein fluid is found is called exudate. The presence of exudates clinically appear as swelling chemical mediate the vascular event of acute inflammation. So we are coming to discuss with you cellular response. The cellular response has the following stages: migration, ruling, fermenting, and adhesion of leukocyte, transmigration of leukocyte, chemotaxis, phagocytosis. Normally, blood cells, particularly erythrocytes in venules, are confined to the central zone and plasma assume the peripheral zone as a result of increased vascular permeability. So, see vascular permeability even above. More and more neutrophils accumulate along the endothelial surface, peripheral zone. So now we are coming to discuss with you migration, ruling, fermenting, and adhesion of leukocyte. Migration is the peripheral position of white cell along the endothelial cell. Subsequently, rows of leukocyte tumble slowly along the endothelium in a process known as ruling. In time, the endothelium can be virtually lined by white cell. The appearance is called fermenting. Thereafter, the binding of leukocyte with endothelial cell is facilitated by cell adhesion. Molecules such as selectin, immunoglobulin, integrin, etc., which result in adhesion of leukocyte with the endothelium. Now we are coming to discuss with you transmigration of leukocyte. So leukocyte escape from minute and small veins, but only occasionally from capillaries. The movement of leukocyte by extending pseudopodia through the vascular wall occur by the process called diaphydesis. What is called diaphydesis? Diaphydesis is a process by which leukocyte escape from minute and small veins, but only occasionally from capillaries. The most important mechanism of leukocyte immigration is via widening of intraendothelial junction after endothelial cell contraction. The basement membrane is disrupted and resealed thereafter immediately. Now we are coming to discuss with you chemotaxis, a unidirectional attraction of leukocytes from vascular channel toward the site of inflammation within the tissue space guided by chemical gradient. So including bacteria and cellular debris is called chemotaxis. What is called chemotaxis? Chemotaxis is a unidirectional attraction of leukocyte from vascular channel to the site of inflammation within the tissue. The most important chemotactic factor for neutrophil are component of the complement system, C5a, bacterial and mitochondrial product of arachidonic acid metabolism, such as leukotriene B4 and cytokines IL-8, all granulocyte, monocyte, and to lesser extent lymphocytes respond to chemotactic stimuli. How do leukocytes see or smell the chemotactic agent? This is because the receptor on cell membrane of the leukocyte react with the chemoattractant, resulting in the activation of phospholipase C that ultimately lead to the release of cytocolic calcium ions, and these ions trigger cell movement toward the stimuli. Now we are coming to discuss with you phagocytosis. What is phagocytosis? Phagocytosis is a process of engulfment and internalization by special cells of participate material which include invading microorganisms, damaged cell and tissue debris. These phagocytic cells include fully morphonuclear leukocyte, particularly neutrophil, monocyte, and tissue macrophages. Phagocytosis involves three distinct but interrelated steps: recognition and attachment of the particle to be ingested by the leukocyte. Phagocytosis is enhanced if the material to be phagocytosed is coated with certain plasma protein called opsonine. These opsonine promote the adhesion between the particulate material and the phagocyte cell membrane. The three major opsonine are the Fc fragment of the immunoglobulin component of the complement system C3b and C3bi, and the carbohydrate binding protein lectin. Thus IgG bind to receptor for the Fc phase of the immunoglobulin FCR, whereas 3Cb and 3Bi are ligand for complementary receptor CR1 and CR2 respectively. Now we are coming to discuss with you engulfment. During engulfment, extension of the cytoplasm centrofolds flow around the object to be engulfed, eventually resulting in complete enclosure of the particle within the phagosome created by the cytoplasmic membrane of the phagocytic cell. As a result of fusion between the phagosome and lysosome, a phagolysosome is formed and the engulfed particle is exposed to the degradative lysosome enzyme. Now we are coming to discuss with you killing or degradation. The ultimate step in phagocytosis of bacteria is killing and degradation. There are two forms of bacterial killing: oxygen independent. In this, first is oxygen independent mechanism. This is moderated by some of the constituent of the primary and secondary granule of pooling morphonuclear leukocyte. These include bacterial permeability, increasing protein BPI, lysozyme, lactoferrin, major basic protein defense. It is probably that bacterial killing by the lysosome enzyme is incipient and relatively unimportant compared with the oxygen-dependent mechanism. The lysosome enzyme are, however, essential for the degradation of dead organisms within the phagosome. In second step is oxygen-dependent mechanism. So in oxygen-dependent mechanism, there are two types of oxygen-dependent killing mechanism. In this first is non-myeloperoxidase dependent. The oxygen-dependent killing of the microorganism is due to the formation of reactive oxygen species such as hydrogen peroxide H2O2, superoxide O2, and hydroxyl ion HO negative, and possibly single oxygen O2. These species have single unpaired electron in their outer orbit that react with molecule in cell membrane or nucleus to cause damages. The destructive effect of H2O2 in the body are gauged by the action of the glutathione peroxide and catalase. And second phase, there are myeloperoxidase dependent. The bacterial activity of H2O2 involve the lysosomal enzyme myeloperoxidase, which is in the presence of halide ion convert H2O2 to the hypochlorous acid HOCl. This H2O2 halide myeloperoxidase system is the most efficient bactericidal system in neutrophil. A similar mechanism is also effective against fungi, viruses, protozoa, and elements like the vascular event, the cellular event, i.e. the adhesion, the transmigration. The chemotoxins and the phagocytosis are activated by the chemical mediator. Next, we will focus on the source of these mediator. So, chemical mediator of inflammation include account for the event of inflammation. Inflammation has the following sequence: cellular cell injury, chemical mediator, acute inflammation. For example, the vascular and cellular event. So now we are coming to discuss with you sources of mediator. The chemical mediator of inflammation can be derived from plasma or cell. Plasma-derived mediator include complement activation, increased vascular permeability C3A, C5A, activate chemotoxis C5A, opsonization C3b, C3bi, factor factor 12, Higman factor activation. Its activation results in the requirement of pore system, the kinine, the clotting of fibrinogen fibrinolytic and the complement system. So now we are coming to discuss with you cell-derived chemical mediator. So cell-derived chemical mediator include, so this is the mediator, these are the principal source of mediator, and this is the action which are taken by the mediator. So histamine, mast cell, basophil, platelets, these take action, their action are vasodilation, increase vascular permeability, endothelial activation. So serotonin, their principal source are platelet, and their action are vasodilation, increase vascular permeability, vasodilation, prostaglandin, their principal source are mast cell, leukocyte, and their action are vasodilation, fan, fever, leukotriene. Their principal source are mast cell, leukocyte, and their action are increase vascular permeability, chemotaxis, leukocyte adhesion and activation. Platelet activating factor, their principal source are leukocyte, mast cell, and their action are vasodilation, increase vascular permeability, leukocyte adhesion, chemotaxis, degranulation, oxidative force, reactive oxygen species. Their principal source are leukocyte, and their action are killing of killing of microbe, tissue damage. Nitric oxide, their principal source are endothelium macrophages, and their action are vascular smooth muscle relaxation, killing of microbes. Cytokines, tumor necrosis factor. Interleukin, their principal source are macrophages, endothelial cell, mast cell, and their action are local endothelial activation, excretion of adhesion molecule, fever, pain, anorexia, hypotension, decreased vascular resistance, shock. Chemokines, their principal source are leukocyte activation macrophages, and their action are chemotaxis, leukocyte activation. Plasma protein derived mediator are complement products C5a, C3a, C4a. Their principal source are plasma produced in liver, and their action are leukocyte, chemotaxis and activation, vasodilation, mast cell stimulation. Kinins, their principal source are plasma produced in liver, and their action are increased vascular permeability, smooth muscle contraction, vasodilation, fan. Protease activating during coagulation. Their principal source are plasma produced in liver, and their action are endothelial activation, leukocyte requirement. So most mediators perform their biologic activities by initially binding to a specific receptor on target cell. Once activated and released from the cell, most of these mediators are short-lived. Most mediators have the potential to cause harmful effect. So now we are coming to discuss with you morphology of acute inflammation. Characteristically, the acute inflammation response involves production exudates. An exudate is an edema fluid with high protein concentration which frequently contain inflammatory cell. A transudate is simply a non-inflammatory edema caused by cardiac, renal, undernutritional or an other disorder. The difference between an exudate and a transudate are so feeder, transudate and exudate. So in feeder, Francis Peter, their transudate are passive increased pressure and exudate are in active inflammation. Vascular permeability feeder include transudate normal, exudate increase. Plasma protein leak feeder include, in this transudate is absent and exudate is present. Protein content of fluid feeder in this transudate are low Sg than 1012. Protein is more than 1.5 gram per deciliter, and their exudate are high Sg higher than 1020 and their protein are more than 1.5 gram per deciliter. Sorry, intransigent their protein are low than 1.5 gram per deciliter. Fibrin feeder there in this transudate is absent and exudate is present. Inflammatory cell feeder include and this transudate is absent and exudate is present. So there are different morphologic types of acute inflammation, serious inflammation. This is characterized by an outpouring of a thin fluid that is derived from either the blood serum or secretion of mesothelial cell lining the peritoneal, pleural, and pericardial cavities. It resolves without reaction. So now we are coming to discuss with you fibrinous inflammation, more severe injury resulting in greater vascular permeability that ultimately lead to exudation of larger molecules such as fibrinogen through the vascular barrier. Fibrinous exudate is the characteristic of inflammation in serious body cavities such as the pericardium. Butter and breed appearance and pleura. Course of fibrin inflammatory include resolution of fibrinolysis, scar formation between peripheral and visceral surface, i.e. the exudates get organized. Fibrous strain formation that bridge the pericardial space. So now we are coming to discuss with you suppurative inflammation or purulent inflammation. This type of inflammation is characterized by the production of large amount of pus. What is pus? Pus is a thick, creamy liquid, yellowish or blood stained in color and composed of the following matter, which we will discuss in next lecture. Goodbye, my dear ladies and gentlemen. If you like my lecture, so please subscribe and